for a little bit, woke up. Now I don't know what the fuck to do. What I'm going through right now might as well be lockup. It might as well be being broken down to the lowest you've ever been broken down to. In most recent memory, I can't tell you the last time I've been broken down this badly. I can't. I cannot. Even with society and how fucked up this country is, how shitty people are, fucking shitty people are in the United Snakes of America, where fucking scammers and con artists run rampant, and fucking bullshit artists and pieces of shit can fucking thrive, but the honest person cannot. 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 And don't blame me if I ain't reading your comments. Fuck the comments. Serious. In fact, I'll even turn around so I don't even have to read. How about that? Fuck that shit. No. Come on. The whole time I've been on here, the boy just tried to break me down. Didn't work. You failed. It had to take a greater entity to try to break me down. A greater entity than any of you think you are, who think you did anything to me. You didn't. You're just watching what a greater force just did to me. I guarantee you, none of you have ever had anything this extensive from any of my curses. I'll tell you right now. What I'm feeling right now is being stripped naked against my will. This feels like I'm being stripped naked against my will. I might as well be butt raped in the shower right now. I'm serious. It just feels like that for me. Spiritually, I'm broken down. What else can anyone do to me right now? I've had it all done to me. What else can be done? What else can be done? Like, fucking God, dude. I'm not showing myself because I look like shit. I feel like shit. And thanks a lot, motherfucker. Two specific individuals I have on my radar. Trust. Trust. Nobody does this to me and thinks they're gonna get away with it. I may temporarily be out of order, but you know what? Well, this time it's getting harder to bounce back up every time. It really is. Now I heard of a story of a 17-year-old or something fucking bullied into suicide over some kind of a scheme or some shit. I don't know what the hell it is, but the stories keep getting worse and worse and worse. There's no sympathy going around. So why do you think I give a fuck about my enemies? Why do you think that I believe it? When you have an enemy, you gotta fight them to the highest. Whether you gotta cut their head off and hang them for treason, whatever the hell you have to do, you gotta get it done. There are some sick, evil people out there in the world. Sick, evil, demonic individuals out here. And, man, I'm only getting over my shock right now, and I still have it. I feel like I'm in a coma, a food coma almost. I know, even though I ate a lot earlier, I did that because I have literally no food on hand right now. I have no food on hand, and all that. I had to forcibly leave. I couldn't even get anything else. Like I said, the first thing you think about when you have to leave somewhere, I think of my clothes. That's what I think of first. You know, and now I'm in danger of not even getting some of my stuff back. Unless I make special arrangements or something, I have to have a third party, some shit, or my stuff has to be thrown outside when they know that I'm coming or something, or you gotta keep me looking beautiful, or I don't feel adequate. Of anything that strips away anything that has to do with my person or my well-being or my individuality, demeaning to me, anything demeaning to me that anyone who's ever plotted against me for anything, um, against me for my individual person, that is a crime as far as I'm concerned. That is a crime and that should not be legal. But oh, piss on me. I guess it's okay for everyone to piss on me because I'm different. I got a different skin tone. I'm a certain height. And by the way, the reports were wrong. He said I was 6 foot tall. I'm taller than that. It said I was 150. Yeah, definitely underweighted and underheighted me on the fucking report there. Nice work, Tom. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fucking asshole. Fucking prick. My God. Tell you right now. Oh, man. I'm a very strong person, but even someone like me isn't even bouncing back as easily. The more shit is happening to me. Don't be surprised if I'm dead within a year. Don't be surprised if I'm dead within a year at this point. You can only keep getting back up so many times. You get kicked down so many fucking times. And I feel like this is a confession. I feel like this is one of my last interviews before I'm going in. And that isn't even what's happening. I'm a free person on the streets, but I'm broken down right now that I feel like I'm not. Because I was still ordered to do things, ordered to not go here or to not go there or whatever. I would be feeling like a piece of shit if I did this to somebody. I tell you, I would. That's my conscience. I would feel like a piece of shit if I dealt with somebody the way that I was dealt with today. Let that be noted for the record. Let that be noted for the fucking record. I couldn't do that to somebody. Never. So, certain people think because they own certain property or whatever, that entitles them to be an asshole, which is not a mindset I subscribe to whatsoever. I'm from the old world, and everything new in the world should just not be legal. They should go back to the corporal punishment of the old days. They should bring that back. They should hang people. They really should bring that shit back. And I will admit that right here. Because some people are pussies. They're not going to admit it, but they believe it. But they're not going to admit that. Honestly, they're not going to. But see, when I'm not looking at the chat, I can fucking think of so many things to say and put on a much better show. Even with the black screen, I can pull views if I'm doing this right. I don't care. I'm not ashamed of the black screen. I'm really not. Greater forces broke me down. None of you did it. None of you really ever did it, unless you managed to get some magical moment at the right time and you sideline me on here. But much of the time, pretty much dominated on here. A greater force in real life got me. So to all you who wish this happened to me, well, you got your wish, I guess, for now. But I don't know how much more of this I can take. I don't know how much more I can take of being beat up every fucking day, literally, when I wake up and hit the room. I don't get breaks. People get breaks. I don't get them. Others do. I don't. And the select few who don't, I see them sometimes, but more people want to live in a fairy tale land, like everything's going right for them, you know? They're all smiles, they live in suburban neighborhoods, they pretend. Some of them pretend, but I really believe some of them are really living a good life and they don't have any problems. And it's for the people who suffer like me most. We're like subsidizing people like this. We're subsidizing them, literally. And I told you, this is not a channel to be fucking around on. And if any of you try to put a curse on me now, it's guaranteed none of it will work because I'm already at my bottom. And society did it to me. So it was none of you. Don't. So if you try to take credit for it, I'm not going to believe it for a second. You'll just look foolish because none of you ever did anything that worked on me. You know, you didn't time it right. If you did, you know, I mean, it happened at a time that none of this. It was like way before any of this happened. It wasn't like anyone put a curse on me yesterday and this shit happened to me. You know, it didn't happen because I wasn't here yesterday. I wasn't here for 4 fucking days. I wasn't here for 4 fucking days. Correct. Proof that I took a break on here. I mean, really. I mean, what else? It could be the end for me on YouTube very soon, though. Even, even if I still have to rant, I guess this is how I'm gonna go out. I guess it's how I'm gonna go out. I don't know. And but it's not like I didn't tell anyone I've been breaking down by the outside world every day of my life. It's like and now it finally hit me. It all finally hit me. I don't know what to do. I don't fucking know what to do, but since I'm on watch also, I'm not gonna do anything drastic, obviously, that will be breaking my agreement, but at the same time, there's a bunch of scared ass pussies out there who think they can hide behind certain things. Yeah, that's fine too. Live it up, because you're gonna have your fucking day in court too, you son of a bitch. You have your fucking day in court also. You're gonna have it. No, no doubt about it. You're gonna have it. That motherfucker who remains anonymous. My God, I want to know who that motherfucker is. Oh my God, I want to get that son of a bitch. Tell you that right now. You know, absolutely. I feel like in the Cobra Kai episode, I feel like when Silver got Kreese arrested right there. I feel like that was me today. I was being set up to be arrested. I felt just like that today. I mean, now you see why I say the things I say sometimes. In regards of having a permanent stay in prison where at least I get 3 meals a day. You know, when I talked about going to prison and all this shit, just doing something just bad enough to get me in there, you know. Um, Besides, shooting up a supermarket, that's not my style, number one. I do something else altogether. I wouldn't say what it is either, number one. I mean, what I do, I mean, I can conjure up a plan or whatever if I really wanted to do it. But like I've said many times, both my parents being alive stops me from doing that. But if they're both dead, then it's open season. In the future, God only knows where it's going to be, but it's open season at that point, I think, at the time that that happens. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud and miserable. Someone like me was never meant to be miserable. I was told growing up if I had a positive attitude, I could achieve anything, you know? The whole spiel, if you work hard, you'll get rewards, right? If you just try, that's all you need to do to get ahead, right? Um, and good things will happen if you follow the book, if you buy the book, and you're a law-abiding citizen. You try to work with it, but nah, sometimes you got to go outside the law, and many people have had to do that. So that story isn't 100% true sometimes. I know there are people out there who love to see me like this, and I don't care to know who they are, but I know there's people out there. I don't care to see them to know who they are. But I know there are people out here that probably are very glad to see me like this. And you know what? But just remember, you didn't do it to me. And you're going to have to live with that for the rest of your life. That you didn't do this to me. And you're just watching from the outside, like the small penis person that you are, and all that. You got a very small body, a very small dick is what fucking people have, you know. And I don't even have to address names. I can just say it just like that, and it will be fine. You know, it will be fine. I'm not. I'm under the belief people are so bad that more people would rather see me like this than happy. They would, because they're sick, sadistic sons of bitches. You see, I'm not even reacting to anyone. I'm just generally speaking right here. I'm not even looking at the chat. I don't even know what anyone's saying. I have to unplug like that and just kind of go off and just say what I gotta say here, and let that be it. Uh, but there's a bunch of lies. They try to frame me, try to say I did things that I didn't do. I grabbed them or put my fingers in their throat or used intimidation tactics on them and all that sort of shit. And and you know what I was doing the whole time? Just trying to work within my what's the word to use here? Like my fucking I just try to do what I had to do to keep the peace. And this is what they do to me. And I wasn't doing a fucking thing wrong. Nothing. Absolutely nothing wrong. Unless they got videotape, they need to shut the fuck up. Because they don't have any video evidence that proves I did any of that crap, you know? So they would have saw it. You know, didn't happen. I would have went in today if I did all that. I would have literally went in. You know what? Literally have to tell my caseworker today that 50% of that was lies, at least. I did all I could friggin' do. I'll say this to the record to keep the fucking peace. I didn't say a word to anybody for a week practically. I wasn't in communication with anyone in the fucking house for a week. I didn't say anything under my breath. I didn't do nothing. I didn't even run into people that much anyway. And this is how I'm done. This is how I'm done. I did absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Nothing. I'll repeat it till the end because I know it's true. Like I said, if any one of you fucks or anyone wants to give me a lie detector test, I will pass with flying colors. And I know this in my heart. I've never been anything but honest on here for the whole time. I'm too honest. And the people who are too honest get screwed. That's the fucking problem. The people who are extremely honest get screwed. Really. They do. They do. And this is the closest I've come to crying my eyes out, literally on the street. I told you. It would take some greater entity to break me down. And white supremacy is the greater entity that can effectively break me down, and it'll break any strong person down. So don't think it's any of you. If you think you put a curse on me, it's white supremacy that fucking has the curse on me. Okay. And yeah, I am going to say it like that because that's the only way you have to say it. You know? If anyone gets butthurt over that, then you got problems. That's all I gotta say. In that shooting in that Buffalo, that thing that happened in fucking Buffalo there. Most of those people were blacks that got killed in that whole thing, Um, and when I heard about that, the whole country went on alarm, and I just happened to get in the crossfires with one live stream that I made. I happened to get in the crossfires. I showed my firearm. People lied about me. A particular person lied about me. And then this is what we're looking at right now. And the system broke me down over this very friggin' thing. You know? But just the little fucking shit that bothered this person that I was around or under an agreement with. And then I don't even know if I got scammed by somebody else too recently. I have to prepare for anything in this fucked up world. I could have got scammed recently, and I don't know. I can't prove it, but I could have. I'd rather say that maybe I did and be surprised and find that I didn't. But a lot of questions are circling right now, just in general. I am a prime target for predators and financial scammers. I am a big time target for them. And before I came to the point, these are the people I came across. These are the people I came across. So if you so anyone out there who remembers the whole Isabel Marie thing, you're going way back. Those are the people I've attracted my whole entire fucking life. And you smarten up to people like that, then they get more sophisticated and they come at you. Then you get too smart for them. Then another sophisticated, more like a fucking T-1000 that friggin' comes at you, and they keep improving and they keep improving, and they gain your trust. And then they burn you again and again and again and again. This is what will break me down. Nobody can curse or do magic like me. Nobody. No one can do it like me. You know, nobody can do it like me. For someone who's unpolished, I have raw power with it. I have the raw power game. Even if I don't have all the knowledge, I have the raw power game, and I use that raw power game to my advantage when it comes to hexing. I will be the raw power person. I won't read all the books. I won't get into the technicalities of it. I will just do it, and I will go for the raw power, and I don't care. But my hexes do work, and they are working now on my enemies or people who announced themselves as my enemies not long ago to me. They are working on them right now, and they don't know it. Fucking with me has consequences. You're gonna wish you never did that. You know, in some way, you're gonna wish you never did that. Cause I got power. I have raw power in this game with hexing. Even if I don't know all the technicalities, I use the raw power, and I will provide myself with. I will pride myself on raw power. You know, in a vulgar display of power, a new level with confidence and power. You know, to quote Philly Anselmo. Uh, and okay, so but no, I've never been broken down this low. I don't think. But it would be also fitting. It would be in this exact time if I was going to be broken down very badly, very badly. Where I literally have to do what I have to do to get a break because not many people are going to give it to me. It's like I said before, if my life was made easier to live in my home area, I would have stayed there for life. I'm going to tell you a little story. I wanted to stay in New England for life when I was a kid. I just wanted to leave Massachusetts, but I wanted to go to one of the surrounding states and live. I've talked about moving to Maine before. I've talked about moving to Maine. I wanted to do that when I was young. That was the first place I thought about moving to, actually, because I didn't feel there was a need to look outside New England before the housing prices went up and everything. So they were going up where I lived, but there were still surrounding states where you could have went. And that's what I was doing at that time. And if I do end up living in New England, it's going to take a coup of some kind. It's going to take some kind of a miracle. But if I end up living in New England again, don't be surprised if it's in Maine. Do not be surprised if I move to Maine. If I have to visit there to handle some affairs or whatever I gotta do, and I happen, it's either gonna be Maine or it's gonna be Los Angeles, California. It's gonna be either one. That's why I situated myself right here in Nebraska, because I'm in the middle, and it's gonna be somewhere back there, or it's gonna be Southern California. And a weird kind of thing is, I never talked to this one particular person really, one to one about any of this, but a person by the name of Molasses Murphy somehow ties into this I don't know how. Because why last week? Why 2 weeks ago? Would I think again about moving back to? Well, why would I think 2 weeks ago, just randomly, about potentially moving to Maine when I haven't really had that thought in my head for a long ass time? I think the last time I had that thought in my head was when I was like 19. Ever since then, it didn't, and then it just resurfaced 2 weeks ago. And but it would have to take a miracle of some kind with my family situation. I don't know what will happen in the future, but when maybe I could be catapulted to move to somewhere in Maine. If I'm visiting and I find I'm already there and I don't want to leave, kind of thing, and I don't want to travel again because I visited family and I don't know. That's if things get better for me. That's if there's even a chance. But if I get continue to get beat down, I may not even live to see that because this world is so fucked up right now. But the only two places I could see myself going right now, if I leave where I currently am, is either maybe Bangor, Maine, or Los Angeles. I know two polar opposites, but hey, maybe I'm here to train for the winters again, to go to Maine, or I am gonna go where it's warmer and save myself from dealing with winter again. It's gonna be one or the other, I mean, it could go either way as far as I'm concerned. There is some kind of training ground I am on right now. I just I just feel like shit in the present moment. And it's all I'm doing. The only thing I can do right now, where I'm currently situated where I am, is look for the most interesting person I can possibly find and maybe flirt with them a little bit. I don't freaking know what else to do. I mean, at this time, I'm just trying to fucking recover from my agony and my fucking pain that certain people choose to put on me, you know? Because they gotta be devils. They gotta be white supremacist devils, and they just don't know any other way to be. They're just the most worst kind of creature that you can meet. They're the worst kind of creatures. And you can't reason with them. Seriously. Yeah, that's right. If I have to go out, I have to sound like Cynthia G on here. I'll friggin' start sounding like Cynthia G. I might have hated on Cynthia G back in the day, but you want to know the real truth? I looked up to Cynthia G, to be honest with you. I looked up to her in a weird way. And I had no idea that that would translate to when I became trans or whatever, or came out as trans. That is the persona that the perfected persona may end up being like Cynthia G when I become my perfected female self. If I get to that point and I'm not driven to death early, then I suppose, I suppose, you know? But I know I belong in LA. Trust me, I know. The only thing I can think of that doesn't belong in LA is the cost might be high, but it's high everywhere though too. That's the kind of realization I'm looking at. Maybe maybe to get the things you want, you shouldn't look at cost. I think the right idea is that and it's very easy for people to abandon this idea, okay? Because everyone is worried about cost, right? When they go somewhere, they want to find the cheapest cost, okay? But maybe that really isn't the way to think. That things will find some way to come together if you just focus on what right place is for you instead of worrying about how cheap it is. Maine and Los Angeles are both not cheap places to be, but sometimes you have to sink so low in these red states sometimes to realize this, possibly, that you will eventually get out, you know? And I kind of see what people go through sometimes who've grown up in the South of Florida or whatever red state shithole environment that they're from, you know? They try to get out and they try to move to a better state for their needs and shit. And I think it's just the wrong mindset to chase cost. It seems to be. I seem to fuck myself up when I do that. And based on other people's stories, it seems that way too, that you just pick, you think of where you want to go. Because everywhere is expensive in its own way. Everywhere they're going to get their money if they really want it anywhere. Take a lesson from a cheap state, Pennsylvania. You want to talk about a shithole state? Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, huh? Particularly Western Pennsylvania, okay? Or Central. A lot of it. Let's just say a lot of it, though, to be fair. Reading. There's people from Reading talk about it like it's a total shithole. And it is. Because while Pennsylvania is a cheap state, one of the cheapest in the nation in some areas, mind you, the rent is ridiculously low, beer is cheap, but they make it up in tickets. They make it up in a lot of other ways. They don't salt the roads well, so more accidents happen. They have their ways of making such a cheap place expensive. So they're going to get their money anyway. So chasing the cheap places, I don't think is a good strategy at all. I mean, if you're going somewhere, you think you're going to get a good, it doesn't always work out that way. That's the thing. It never works out that way. Never. You'll get poorer if you're in these states. That's really the fact. And plus the education's lower and all that. You gotta go with this some form of education and not a bunch of ignorant hicks, you know, that bring that mindset with them, you know. You you can't really do that and shit. Well, yes, I do have CNN on in the background. Yes, I do. Yeah, you'll wake the fuck up real fast if you're in red states long enough. I'll tell you that. You'll realize very few people can actually do anything for you, you know. Oh, well, many of the citizens are just not charitable minded in general. You know, they look to skimp, they look to, you know, it's just a poor state. No one has time for that shit in the poor states. They just don't. You know? You cannot get all the help you need oftentimes. And I don't think anyone could just look at fucking Roger Brown, what his life is, for instance. Pathetic. He chooses that, though. And he has nobody to blame but himself because he chooses that shit to live in. And he'll lay happy in his own shit. You know? And he tried coming in earlier. I saw that shit. He tried coming in here earlier. You know? But yeah, Stinky Brown, he's very content living in his own shit. But some people are not that way. Okay? They have more pride than that. They have more dignity than that. And and that's all there is to it. By the way, I think I'm gonna go get my soap right now. I do have my soaps with me, it turns out. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He's a sick freak. And who knows what he's gonna do with his cats, you know? Who the fuck knows? He's got no room to talk about me or anyone on me. You know? I'll be right back. Just gonna run out here for a sec. If anyone wants any information, okay, email me at gmail.com. And I'll discuss more and delve into what's really going on here. Because this could be a case of some kind. I don't know. But, yeah, man. Right. I think the moment is called for this, okay? Yeah, it is chilly out there. want it to be nice and warm throughout the middle of the night again, you know? Right. Alright, so this is what I got. Okay? When I get soap, typically, I get good soap. Okay? I get very good soap when I get soap. As a rule. Take a look. Look at these. I'm going to start off with this stuff, Italian soap. Alright? What's it say? I'm a dumb hick, but you are welcome. Why are you a dumb hick? Why do you say that? You don't give me that vibe. What do you mean? Okay, so I have this Italian bar of soap right here. Flora di Ciliegio. Vegetal soap made in Italy. Right there, I got that. Yeah, I got that. Then I have this here. Some of these I haven't even used in a while. I haven't really had to. I have a Bar Lever 2000 right there, see? You gotta use soap, Stinky Brown. Right there. I'll give you a reminder, too. Then I also got this stuff here, this African black soap. I got that. Unopened yet, but I have this. It's black soap right there. You can see it through the... Isn't that cool? You can kind of see it through the foil there, you know? African black soap right there. And then whatever perfume I have unopened because I had to leave some stuff there today. And I'm entitled to get my own things. They're saying that they're making it hard for me is what they're doing. Like I could get my stuff back, but they're making it very hard. I got other stuff that I have to pick up. I grabbed what I could grab today. And I couldn't spend up a lot of their time, so I could get what I had to get today or whatever. But it's probably going to come down to where if I don't know, it's kind of complicated, but I'm going to But yeah, I could end up in Los Angeles, and it would just so happen IP2 is there. But I'm not joining IP2 if I go there. I'm not. I'm doing my own deal. And I want nothing to do with IP2. I said that several times. And I want nothing to do with it. I'm going there to be with the stars, not to be with the low streamers. I'm I'm going there to be with Kobe and Magic, and I'm going there to be with the Hollywood stars, you know? I'm going to try to break into Hollywood at the very least. Um, there's more of a chance I would aspire to do that more than go to IP2, honestly. But yeah, I'll happen to be where they are, if that be the case. But I'm sick of playing around. I'm sick of wasting time. I have to go to Los Angeles to win championships now. You know, I've wasted so much time in all these other places. I just think I should go for the gusto. I think I seriously should at some point. So I'm having a real moment right now where nothing surprises me anymore. And I was going to give something else one more shot here, but if that doesn't even go through, I'm kind of screwed, honestly. I'm kind of screwed at this point. Um, Beat up on a beach? What the fuck? We just doing our own. No, that's not happening, Dixie, babe. That's foolish talk about rich life's RV. Come on, we could beat up on a beach. No, not happening. I already feel beat up right now. I don't feel like getting beat up again, Frankie. I don't feel like that, honestly. Yeah, well, Denise, I've been hit the hardest I've ever been hit, probably right now. This is the worst it's been, and I got into the crossfires of that whole shooting that happened a week ago, and now people try to lie about me and frame me to the local police. Yeah, well, not by none of you. Trust me, none of you did it. All right. If anything can hex me, it's real life. I've said that several times. Real life hexes me, and so does the system of white supremacy. Um, Fucks with me every day, you know? I don't watch IP2. What the fuck? I don't watch them. They suck. They fucking suck. And they better not make me be a part of them, especially when I aim to go to Los Angeles. They better not make me hound me to be part of them, because I'm going to keep saying no every single fucking time. I want nothing to do with them. I'm not jealous of their views. I'm not jealous of shit streamers. I'm not jealous of that kind of shit. I don't want my channel to become a shit stream channel. It's not happening. If you think I'm ever going to sink that low to fuck with people on the streets, and homeless people and pranking them all the time. You think I'm gonna do that shit? Fuck. You can go kick rocks if that's how you think. Seriously. Seriously, Ken. I'm going there to be with the stars. I'm not going there to be with the lowlifes. You know? I know, Denise, thanks for at least giving me that much. You know, IP2, what kind of a person would make me be part of IP2? Let's be real. It would just be like forcing a fit, like what the boy did. No, I'm putting you in a timeout. I'm not watching the latest IP2. All right, fuck that. I don't like IP2. I am not a shit streamer. I will not ever be a shit streamer. I've kept everything 100 on here. The whole fucking time I've been on here. Boyd tried to make me part of them. They failed. IP2, I guess, wants me to be part of that, but they're going to fail too. I'm the hottest free agent in the market right now, it looks like. Despite me feeling like shit right now. But it doesn't mean I'm obligated to join you. You know, it does not mean I am obligated to join your shit show. Okay? I might as well get every thought I have out there on the table about what I might plan to do. I might as well do it now, you know? Why not? Yeah, exactly, Monsoon. You're right. And the Dow suffers 8 straight weeks of losses. This is the latest news I hear now. The Dow suffers. Who says CNN is fake news? It's not fake news. You're fake news if you think CNN is fake news. This is legitimately real stuff they're reporting on. But what I can't stand are those clickbait channels that say something happened and then you read the video and you watch the video and it didn't happen. It didn't fucking happen. They say Trump had a meltdown, or the Trump family is going through a disarray, and then you watch the video and nothing's happened. Those clickbait channels are a fucking problem too. That are on the liberal side. The clickbait channels. But especially those fucking like Christos something. He fucking I don't like him. He fucking puts clickbait titles regarding Donald Trump or regarding. He says this shit's happening and it isn't happening. It's just wishful thinking on their behalf, and they end up using it as a clickbait title. So it's gotta happen or it isn't any good. Did anyone get their government check? What government check? What do you mean? There's about to be more disaster in the world right now as this is happening to me. I'm just getting hit with it badly right at this moment. Hopefully, in 2 weeks, it'll be another story for me, but right at this moment, it's not good. And there's a chance 2 weeks from now might not be good either. This will be like a never ending cold, probably. Yeah, well, maybe he'll send me some money too. I kind of need it. Maybe he'll send me some. Maybe it'll be enough to get me to Los Angeles, huh? Maybe to help pay for their $7 a gallon gas out there. Huh? Maybe I'll get some of that too, huh? Maybe. Trump era program turned migrants away at the southern border turned pandemic, it says. Shit. I'm just sick of wasting my time in places I probably shouldn't be. Just trying to chase situations that, well, not rather chase them, but just, um, you know, try to find a balance in some way, but running into the wrong situations. If things were going on course and normal for me at this time, I wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I would not be having this conversation out here. Um, I wouldn't be going over anything. But now Larry David is on TV. But some people could give two shits if you're on the streets or not. They just have no empathy. You know how I look at this shit? Some people are so cold and calculated, they would do this to their own grandmother. I'm really convinced there are nasty people out there who will do the same thing that happened to me to their own grandmother. I'm pretty damn sure they would. I'm pretty fucking sure that they would. And this is the real me talking. Never mind all the stuff you want to believe about me to add to this image problem of mine or whatever the hell. um, is that Whitney Houston? Hmm. What's this? Sounds like Family Bad. It's not. It ain't. Well, the got fucking guys got Urkel glasses though. Chevy Chase. I think it's Chevy Chase. Huh. Yep. Chevy Chase. Hmm. Hmm. Uh, Who's this, Connie Chung? Nah. Maybe a relative of hers. I don't know. What the hell is this, a Mexican boxing show? What the fuck am I watching here? Jeez. Yep, I got 18 viewers on a black screen right now. Because people want to hear what I gotta say. You know? But no, if I didn't say so before, I had to unsubscribe from Foodie Beauty because she let out this big ass nasty belch. Where are they making it against the law to be? Oh, Dixie Babe. Okay, I didn't recognize you. You had a picture of yourself before, and now you got a flower. All right. So, where are they closing all the homeless camps? Probably somewhere in the South. I'm thinking they're probably doing that shit. Just stay positive and don't let no one get you down. I know the potential. I probably will, but it's such a tough time right now that I'm trying to just sort it out. I gotta get some of my stuff back. I left a lot of my stuff. I had to today. They told me I literally had to, because it would have taken too much time to get everything. You know. This is so serious. I got a protective order against me today. I got served with it at 9:30 in the morning. They woke me up out of bed for this shit today. I mean, Christ. My whole day was shitty. I got woken up out of a sleep, and I normally take 2 hours to wake up as it is. I cannot just get out of bed and start doing things that are not comfortable for me. I can't. But when they send like 3 police officers in there or whatever, then it comes down to what choice do you have? You know? They're closing all the homeless camps and going to find them. Who's going to find them homes, though? They're not doing that in the red states, I'll say that. This is just unbelievable. How could they make you leave on such a short... Yeah, well, they broke the agreement, is what they did, because he was scared of me. That's no reason, because I didn't do half that shit he said in the report. Do you want to read some of how ridiculous this action? Fuck, come on. I'm trying to mute this fucking thing. I don't want to listen to TV. But do you want me to read a little of this crap to you that I got served with today? Do you want to read it? I mean, I got it right here. This is just how ridiculous it is. It just explains that 50% of the things that supposedly I did not do on here at all. And stuff like that. And I literally had to tell my caseworker that. What gets into like you know, like the second night I was in there, I was banging on the door and on the walls, because, and then they said screamed and I threatened to kill other roommates, okay, which I don't do that outside of YouTube, okay. I was banging on the wall and the door because the fool didn't respond to me when I tried to get his attention normally, because he had his earphones on and he was making noise to the music he was listening to. Even though he wasn't blasting his music, he was making noise in response to his music and banging on and stomping on the floor. So of course I had every right to fucking pound on the walls to tell him to shut the fuck up. Of course I did. When he was irritating my space. You know? Just like when I stayed in motel rooms. But then I had a face-to-face with him, and then I saw he had earphones on. I'm like, do you realize what you're doing here? I'm like, do you realize what you're doing? I can hear you. I moved in next door to you. And I can hear you. You know? And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again, all right? I didn't realize. He's like, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. I didn't realize. And I thought that was it, okay? But it turns out he had a deep-seated hatred toward me after that. He probably reported me to the guy, and then they formed an opinion on me. They're like a cult. These people are like cultists of some kind. They're not really a cult per se, but maybe one of them is. I don't really know the fucking guy, but he seemed like a friggin' weirdo when I first met him. He seemed like a fucking weirdo. I'm gonna say that right now. So, but then they turned it around and they said that I threatened to kill him, okay? I wouldn't have did that, number one, in such a space like that. Who was in the room with headphones listening, and yeah, that's true, the headphones listening, yeah, but they responded bang on door. We kept a date, April 19th, May 11th, Responded bang on door a dozen times, screaming the toilet won't flush. I told him the toilet wouldn't flush, but I didn't scream the toilet won't flush. I was like, that toilet won't flush. Just picture how that would sound. Hey, the toilet won't flush. Come on, really? I screamed the toilet won't flush. I told him the toilet wouldn't flush, yeah. And if he found my tone threatening, then he's got issues. If my tone, it's just like how it is now, and you found that threatening, well, he's got problems. The tone of voice I used was just like it is like now. I wasn't screaming. I hate screaming. Number one. Um, so based on certain things, it's almost like they sensed that I could be seen like this in their imagination. So they used their imagination to describe me as something worse than I really was. Kind of like what people do down here to me, you know? Or they have in that way before, yeah. um, so he totally took it to heart. They never stop thinking. Like, these are the type of people, they're so passive aggressive. You slight them in any way, they remember it for life, even when you don't intend to fucking do any of that to them. You just simply want a question answered. You simply, apparently, it's a crime to knock on people's doors to get their attention. Apparently, that's a crime now. You can't do that with certain people. This is how fucked up America is. That we got these snowflakes living in this country now. It's craziness. Um, and I have to be subjected to it. And it doesn't make for a good environment. And think I reminded responded she need only text me once or something, and if emergency, text 911. I'm not going to call 911 for something that doesn't need to be called 911 for, number one. And I tried telling the bastard that I wasn't going to call 911 over something that didn't warrant it. I'm not going to waste resources to call 911 over something that can be talked about in the house. Now you see how ridiculous this sounds now. Now you see how ridiculous this sounds. That wanted me to call 911 just over anything, I guess, is what I got out of that. Anything that I would get upset about, call 911. Like, that's retarded, dude. Who the hell would even say anything like that, number one, unless they're fucked up themselves? Oh, and it's funny how this is put. She put her fingers to my throat, kind of in front of other roommate, threatened to kill me. Which I don't put hands on people in a close situation like that, knowing that I could get in trouble like that. Yeah, framing me right here. That I literally put my fingers to his throat and threaten to kill him too. It's like, Supposedly I threatened to kill my other roommate, and now the homeowner's telling him I threatened to kill him. They tried getting me arrested, is what it came down to. They tried getting me arrested. She, the May 19th, he complained in here that sheriffs banged on the door looking for me. But you know what? I'm glad I'm out of there in a way, but I just have other stuff I have to pick up. That's my only worry right now. I just got other stuff I have to pick up. Otherwise, I would get over it all right. But I'm just worried about my stuff that I have to pick up at some point or get it somehow. They lied to get me out. That's exactly what they did, Denise. Yes, they did. That's what they did. Yes. See, last week I posted a video. I had a breakdown. Okay. I showed my gun on camera. Okay. And there was even some alcohol involved. All right. Um, I'm going to put this up here for a sec. Last week, I had a breakdown when I was told that I was going to get out of my place. When I got notified on text through the owner that I was getting thrown out, or I'm paid for the month or whatever, and something like, oh, if there's no more problems, then you can get out of here. But come on, I didn't do anything here. I was even staying off YouTube for 4 days when this happened. Do you realize I had a wellness check called on me when I wasn't even on camera? This wasn't even on camera, and I've been off YouTube 4 days. I'm the first that's ever happened to. Usually, when someone got a SWAT, it was always live. It was always live, and it was like at nighttime, usually, wasn't it? It's just kind of weird how it happened to me when it happened to other people around. And I will say, for the record, in case anyone's watching, okay, um, that there have been people swatted in a particular community down here, and there's been lots of swats that have happened and all that. And this is nothing new, it's just new to me. But it happened when I wasn't on camera, and that was yesterday. And I thought things were cleared up, but then today I get a knock at my door that I had to leave at 9:30 in the morning. That this isn't your typical SWAT that happened. It was more extensive toward me because they came back another day. It had nothing to do with YouTube. Nothing to do with YouTube. I mean, you hate my neighbors. They call the police on you. It was a reaction channel. I never saw that video. But yes, they were that scared of me that they lied to get me out. That's how much power I had in their lives. I didn't even do anything physical the whole time I was there. It didn't come to that. I just tried to mind my damn business. I mean, yeah, I had an argument with them before, but I didn't put a hand on him. I didn't initiate. I said to him, hit me once. So I told him to hit me. So that would give me an excuse, but I didn't just put a hand on him. Um, so yeah, they pretty much lied to get me out. But I never met someone so butthurt ever at someone knock. I don't care how many hours they work a week. I never saw anyone so butthurt at knocking on their door. I never, and I'm not. It's just the way this was done was wrong. It was done wrong. It was done dirty, and that's going to be noted for the record. And when I got noticed that I was leaving, that's when I had my meltdown last week that some of you saw when I was driving with the gun or whatever. Yeah. Okay. But if that did not happen, I would not have had a reason to do any of that. I would not have drove and done that. No. I had a breakdown. I had to have. Someone like me just doesn't go doing shit like that. In fact, that was a first ever. you know. There's someone trying to make content out of me, and I showed them very fast they're not going to be making content out of me. That it turned out that person had a lot of enemies from another community as well. So, Denise, these people now from other communities are coming at me now, and they want to make me their content. That's what's going on. It's not even The boy's dying. It's these other communities now that are trying to get a hold of me, and their sets of trolls are trying to make content out of me. Now, that's what's going on here. I mean, forget Anderson Henderson at this point. I mean, it's a whole other group now. We all have our moments, but he he lied big time. Is what you meant to say, just to get you out. No, it isn't right at all. And even people who hate me on here have to notice this. At least was very fucked up that happened. Makes it look like you were the most craziest. Exactly what they had a lot of deep seated crazy. That fucking dude who lived next to me was satanic as fuck. That ritual, that was the real him coming out, doing some kind of a metal. We're talking like what we saw Cyrax doing last night. Cyrax did it at least in front of the camera, you know? This person presents as a normal person, um, but he's not. Because I heard a whole other side of him. When that's right next door to you, when someone's friggin' pounding on the floor doing like satanic rituals or some shit, even if it's to some metal music. I mean, Christ. I mean, I literally called it what it was. It sounded very satanic. Like demons were possessing that person's brain. Really, that's what I tried to tell the landlord. That's literally what I tried to say here. You know? Those people are using your name. Yeah, they're doing it more now, but I told them I'm the wrong person to be doing that to. You know? I've been on here 12 years or more, 13 even. And you know that story that Anderson might have told you, Denise, about how I met this woman and I scammed her or something? But then he kind of threw in that she scammed people too or something. Remember that story? I thought about that today too. And I've always met people like that throughout my life, it seemed like. Um, I've always been attracted to certain scumbags. They just never leave me alone. They never, ever, I hardly ever get a break from them. No matter how many positive people I try to put myself around, they never let up. I keep meeting these people all the time. And it disgusts me because I'm much better than that. And I still meet these bottom of the barrel type people. And back then, yeah, this woman, she was in, you know, the MLM programs, like the multi-level marketing. That's really what happened with that. She was in the multi-level marketing arena. You might know a little something about that, pyramid schemes and all that. I thought it might have been a good way to make some money. I was told about a program years ago, and I paid a little money, and I was told I could make my money back or whatever if I did this. But you have to be kind of dishonest to do that, you know. And some of these people are showing off their vehicles, their nice clothes, they were showing off how they made their money through this program. But even if it was real and they made their money, you pretty much had to sell your soul to dishonesty to make money that way. And you would have to be under a lot of pressure, and you would just to scam people, or because you're told, oh, just find people with common interest and bring them into the program, show them how to make their money back, and then more. That's the kind of a program it was. Um, and then she didn't like when I charged her back. I did the very first charge back before it became trendy down here to do. I did a charge back in 2008. And that was such news back then. It If something like that happened, it was so unheard of. So I had communities going after me over this chargeback, and then she played victim to them, and someone played white knight to her, and then doxed me over that. You know. But then that person ended up realizing she was crazy, and he didn't want anything to do with her in the end anyway. And he was as well. What guy? What are you talking about? You're not saying a name. You never. I don't know. I guess he's not even on anymore, really. Something's going on there with him. I mean, maybe he realizes he hit his ceiling, and he just doesn't want to be honest about it completely. But I think deep down he knows he's pretty spent out on here. He doesn't have anything new to offer, really. But I don't know your reason for not going in there anymore. Maybe something happened with you and him, but all these people with no. All right, I've already read that. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I like doing streams where I don't have to read the side chat very much. I'm at my strongest. But a lot of people like to be noticed in the chat, but it's really not how I like to do things a whole lot. I like to perform, but that this kind of environment has made it hard to do, when everyone wants you to read their comments and whatever. Obviously, oh, this Phantom loser. Who, Jimmy Phantom or Phantom? Now there's another Phantom running around. He calls himself Jimmy Phantom. That's not the same Phantom, though. It's another person. But now all this attention's going on Foodie Beauty, and I'm starting not to like it. They're trying to promote Foodie Beauty now. Foodie Beauty has had a channel for 5 years. I look back at all those videos of the very first one that started, and Foodie Beauty was getting 8,000 views when she first started on YouTube. She was still getting a lot of views. I mean, even 5 years ago, too. But it's just now, Foodie Beauty's channel is so big. Um, yeah, I'm starting not to either, especially after I heard about what they do. And they don't even include this guy, Pete, who lives next door in the next room, but apparently Pete gets off on their sexual moaning, but they don't even include him in it. I mean, that's where I draw the line. See, I would have to participate at that friggin' point. I can't just be cocked in the next room listening and beating off to it. You know what I mean? It's they don't even have them participate. They just make them listen to the noises. That's what I decided I did not like about her. And plus, she belched on camera. You know, I got turned off by Foodie Beauty and I unsubbed. Bet that's what happened there with that. To finger a man. I don't know what you said there. But anything to get her off. What's it to you anyway about Nader or whatever? The only Nader that I knew was Ralph Nader, and apparently someone's first name is Nader that she's associated with. But no, I'm not even gonna follow that channel anymore. Foodie Beauty is canceled in my world. And even zombies too. I'm losing interest in zombies too now. Now that he put his Cash App link up when he's got a lot of money. I'm losing interest in him also, I have to say. And all that. Her man that she left for another woman. Yeah, I'm not gonna analyze that. It's stupid shit. and people are giving them attention when they don't deserve attention on it. I think YouTube would actually be better off without a lot of channels, and people need to just come to admit this, that YouTube needs a relief. YouTube needs a purge. YouTube just needs many people to disappear. Even if I have to disappear too with it, I'm willing to accept it at this point. Who wants to keep YouTube alive? It's such a shitty website now. Who really wants to keep it alive? Really, when you think about it, who really does? I have to run. All right. Thanks for showing up, Denise. Thanks again. Okay. All right. So yeah, get rid of Foodie Beauty. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Those and that other fucking, who's that other asshole bitch? Who's that one who eats all the food with her husband next to her and the glasses? Who the fuck is that one again? She has red hair or something, and she's eating all these crappy looking noodles in bunches and whatever the fuck. 2 million? She makes $2 million on YouTube per year. Per year? She makes 2 million a year on YouTube. $2 million a year on YouTube. I'm stunned. I'm literally stunned. $2 million a year. And that's how that one deals with it. That one gets fat. She's like one of those fat cat type of people. Now I could see why people rag on her. Honestly. Now I'm starting to see that. Fuck her. You really stuffing her fat face with all this food. That's how she handles her $2 million, I guess. I guess she'll get food every single day of the week, and even pay more for more food to stuff her face with, and all that. And God only knows what else for cosmetics or whatever the hell. Probably gets all these expensive cosmetics if she's making $2 million a year. I mean, Christ. I am shocked by that. But she said, oh, well, she can go fuck off. And she also has a join button. She also has, no, wait, you have to be like a member or something to chat. You have to be a member to chat. That's the other thing that bothers me about Foodie Beauty. Christ. But Foodie Beauty's such a big name, there wouldn't be really even any shame getting views off her. To get some of her views, there wouldn't be any shame because she's such a huge channel. I mean, any way to get big, you do it. But the people I wouldn't try to come off are the people who are big, but they're not too big. The real people who do well, I would not try to piggyback off the views. But Foodie Beauty, I mean, that's what I used to do in the old days. I used to kind of piggyback off the huge channels. That was actually normal to do if you wanted traffic to your channel, and sometimes that worked. And I actually got a few loyal subs doing that too. And it was so funny. I laughed at the analogy Anderson Henderson friggin' said about me before, right? About how I managed to always get a couple of quote unquote pigeons feeding out of my hand consistently all these years to stay alive on here. Then I got these couple of pigeons who kept coming to me and coming back. I just thought that was funny how he worded that. That to survive on YouTube, I always needed a couple of pigeons, and I always managed to get those few pigeons on here eating out of my hand to stay alive on YouTube. I mean, that one was funny right there. You joined her channel to tell her to find a real man. Oh. And what did she do after that? Did she kick you for saying that to her? Okay, I feel like laying into that bitch now. I'm serious. I'm glad I know what's going on. Foodie Beauty is a piece of shit. Literally. But she has a skullet though. If you really look close, she has a skullet. You can tell her hair is like the skullet goes like maybe about that far back. It almost looks like zombies in a way. When she doesn't wear a wig, she looks kind of like zombies. Anyone notice that? The Foodie Beauty looks just like zombies with their hairline. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna shut this off right now. 20 views at this time. I've been going an hour and a half. I didn't think I'd be going. Started the stream so miserable. Still kind of am, but um, this takes a long time to recover from. When you're woken up at 9 to 9:30 in the morning and told you have to leave the premises of where you're at, that's a lot to get over. If it ever happened to you, you wouldn't know what the hell to do. You're scrambling for whatever you can to stay hydrated while you're trying to get ready. I like to see how some people would react if they were put in that situation. Never mind getting arrested, just the stupid shit that happens in day to day life. Hi, idiocracy. What's going on? Don't be trolling me though. If that's what you have any intention of doing, there's been people in here coming in here making stupid comments about certain YouTubes or whatever. Just in case you're one of those, it looks like maybe your screen name might be one of those people, but I'm not sure. So I just want to give you that warning ahead of time. If you're one of those people, you can go right now. Oh shit, I need some kind of a device like this. Does it remove hair by chance? There's something on TV where something like a woman's device, you can look younger instantly or something. But some people have no protections in this country, really. There are just some people, they have no protections, and you're looking at one of them. The LGBTQ doesn't help me out either. The LGBTQ doesn't claim me as one of theirs. So if you're not one of theirs, you can't be counted. That's how they seem to roll. So I'm screwed there. I don't have their support really. Um, so a lot of them operate like Nazis too. And I've said that before on video. I got flagged on a small channel for calling out some of the LGBTQ for being Nazis. I literally called them out on a small channel and that got flagged. Not on this channel. I didn't even show that video. It was even an old video and I posted it recently on there. But it was one of my unreleased classic rants that did not make it to this channel. I put it on another channel. And within a day, it got flagged out. So what does that say? I'm not. What's that got to do with anything? I'm speaking generally, whether you're here or not. I'm not saying you're LGBT. Did I once say you were LGBT? Yes or no? I didn't once say that. So I don't know why you seem to be getting defensive with me there. Let's hear it, huh? Why are you getting defensive about this shit? I'm just saying, the community that I should be in seems to hate me almost as much as these right wingers do. I can't win anywhere I go, really. I don't feel like I'm part of a group anywhere, and I've always wanted to be part of a group. I've been forced into individuality because I'm not included in many places. You know, I've wanted to be part of a faction or something, you know, or I thought about starting something if I wasn't part of it. Or part of anything. You don't know why why is there a rule that says I should be married? Because you don't understand. I could wish and want to be married all day, every day. I could want the most normal life, but I was never granted that. I can't be granted a life where I can live as a trans person and be married to a woman and have children. I can't live that life because that's not seen as appropriate through society or whatever. Or just my vibration in general does not go with most people. So here I am, single at 41 years old, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I'm probably going to be single for the rest of my life, and I don't like it. I don't like that at all. Do you think I ask to be single? Let's be honest. Of course, I would rather be in a partnership of some kind. I hate being single, especially the older I friggin' get. With society and all these jackasses making life hard on me, just in general, not letting up on me one bit, just to do what I need to do. Why do you think someone like me stays single? Society decides whether you're going to be married or not. That's just the truth. Society decides. Yeah, people do dictate what you do, apparently. If they're part of the collective and you're not, they have more say than you could ever imagine. It's the system of white supremacy that we're talking about here. And that is what it is, and that's what I'm going to call it. Because that is what it is. Just wonder whatever happened, why you made the choices you made. But sometimes they were not choices. They were choices. There were some things I thought were choices, but then they turned out in another way. But I would not have made those choices if I had known that they were going to turn out to be a certain way. So I like to say that 50% of the time, at least, I don't make choices that happen to me. You know, not every single thing is about choices. You know, I make choices to try to improve things, and sometimes they don't improve. But I didn't voluntarily stay single and celibate into my 40s. Trust me, I did not choose this. I don't know anyone who would choose this voluntarily. And people are kidding themselves that they say that they are choosing this voluntarily. They are kidding themselves. These MGTOWs, they cannot get women. That's just the friggin' truth. These men who like to claim that they are doing this by choice, they are not. They're much like the true forced loneliness people that are out there. They're much like them. Hence the name of the group, True Forced Loneliness. There's like a woman-hating cult on here who've been on the internet for many years. Another thing I was reading today, right, is the right wing hate women. They certainly do. They don't, and I think in some cases they don't care if you're trans or not. They would do the same thing, I think, to their own grandmother. In some people's cases, I think they would do the same thing to their own mother or their own grandmother. They would, they'd throw them on the streets, all the same. They're that much of a little shrimp dick man. They have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't stand cowards. I just can't. I can't deal with that. You know, I could have served in the military. I could have done that. It wouldn't have mattered. These so-called people, a lot of the times they piss me off. They claim to support the military, but they really don't care about veterans deep down. It's just a front. They don't care about babies. They only care about the fetus. But every time they're out of the womb, they stop caring, and especially like past 5 years old. It's crazy the mentality these types of people have. They care more about the baby when it's in the womb, but when it's out, they don't give two fucks, and they don't care about death then. It's kind of funny. These hypocrites have to go too. And that's just it. And I'm serious. Society has needed a facelift for the longest time. What's your secret? What is it? What do you want to tell me? What is it? Go ahead. What? What is it? Your daughter just lost the baby, okay? How do you feel about that? Is this, where does this make you side with? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What is your answer? What side does this make you choose because this happened? Fuck. It's late. I'm tired. Answer me quickly, for fuck's sakes. Christ. Pro-life. Well, that's wrong, though. The pro-life agenda is not what you think it is. Look at this nerd. Well, look at you. You're getting into fucking hidden space from now on. You ain't coming back, bitch. Fuck off. Tell me I'm a fucking nerd. Who the fuck are you? Huh? Yeah. But no, pro-life is a very misguided agenda because most of these people are in it. I'm not gonna support it at all, man, for sure. I'm literally gonna say, if you have a baby you want to abort and you can't, and you're not fit to take care of it, abort it. Save it the trouble. That's right. Save it the trouble. Don't bring it into the world. Don't make it be like me. Because they're going to struggle through life. Even if they are a dynamic personality, at this point, I don't think this is the kind of world to be bringing a kid in anyway. I think if people want to abort babies, they should be 100% free to do it. That's where I stand. If it's unpopular and some people hate that, I don't give two rats' asses what people think. But I can't stand with pro-life because we see what pro-life leads to. A bunch of nuts. And plus, when tons of people are born and they live, then that just makes the population go up. We need to cut the population to make things more manageable. It may be an unpopular opinion amongst some people around here, but so fucking what? I have to say what I believe it is. Nope, you're getting out of here. Fuck you. Troll. Grizzly. Fuck you. John G and Grizzly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you got a good picture at me at least. But nah, you're not gonna troll in here. I understand why they are trying to. You do. Well, let's not. I'm telling you, I don't like this overly conservative agenda being pushed. I don't like it. It's not what I'm about. You know. I don't like that these types are showing their faces everywhere now, looking to oppress people who are not like them. And when you tell them the truth about how they really are, they call you a crybaby. You know? But they're the fucking biggest crybabies. Look, it is depressing times all around. That's right. And now I'm starting to feel the effects heavily now from this. And it would happen at some point, but I didn't think it would happen in this fashion where I'd be woken up at 9 o'clock in the morning saying I had to leave. I have a protection order against me. Can you believe that shit happened to me this morning? It's worse than that fucking woman I lived with in Nashua, New Hampshire, that friggin' time I had to deal with. Had to move out of her friggin' place, too. Some people just aren't fortunate enough to own their own homes. They're just not. They're not fortunate. They didn't grow up in that time. They grew up when things were getting more fucked up and they didn't have the luxuries of home ownership. My parents had more luxuries than I had when it came to home ownership, at least. Or they did it in a time when things were easy, you know, and stuff. I was told this world was a different place when I was a kid. And if only I worked hard or I applied myself, things would come to me. But I have to apply myself and just like the same spiel I would get. You know, my father would tell me the same spiel. The school counselors would tell me the same thing, and only to find that it wasn't true when I did try and do it. You know, they didn't, people just didn't treat me the same way as they did others. And yes, they could to a point, but there was not only jobs available, but there was also housing available back then too. There wasn't this problem with housing crises. Everyone got in somewhere. It wasn't a problem. That only started happening in the 2000s in certain places, I think. I think it started to happen in like 2000 even, maybe the late 90s, I don't know. But the late 90s, things started to go to shit at that time. I started noticing it was getting bad then, but it's totally out of control now. Completely. But you know, I learned one thing that they would have found some way to oppress me no matter what time I was in. They would have. It just would have been a little easier than it is now for me. I wouldn't have had all these bad happenings happen to me now. Even if I would have had some, there still would have been a fighting chance at least. But now, with all the rampant discrimination against trans people or against people who don't fully look like them or whatever reason they want to find to make you not be part of them or part of society or whatever, they're going to use it. They're going to use it. And even if they don't tell you to your face, they are going to get you removed somehow. And they're going to hide behind the law to do it. That's where we're at right now. And it's sick. It's very sick that we're at this fucking point. Very sick. Very sick. To anyone who thought my life was a joke, and they think I'm some dangerous person, they're just buying into the hype is all they're doing. People's hype. That want to see me worse than what I am but they're not seeing that, so they have to manufacture it or whatever. It's nonsense. But yeah, back in the day, people could afford more. There wasn't all this trouble. At one time, I saw my stepmother. I saw just random people in my family. They all had roofs over their heads, and they stayed in apartments for a long time. I just have to make this clear. I don't choose this way of life. It's not a choice. This is not a choice for me. The notion that every decision that is made is a choice is not true. It's bullshit. You know? Certain things are just not a choice. It happens through a miscalculation, or it happens through uh, misfortune or whatever. But it is not something a lot of us choose. I'm telling you right now, it's not. I think if anyone's living van life though, that's a choice. I do think if you live in van life, it's a choice. It's a choice you had to make to counter the fact that maybe there's no housing. But you made that choice and there's really nowhere else you can go. You kind of have to realize when you get into it that's going to be what you're going to end up doing probably. No. All these goddamn troll accounts using my old pics, they can go to hell right now. Nowadays, cause 16,000 houses, 100,000. Yeah, 16,000 is still a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a vehicle. Yeah. And houses are more than 100,000. What are you talking about? There's no house out there for 100,000 that I can think of at this time. And if there is, you're still not going to get that for a hell of a deal, really. I mean, there's still going to be payments that you're going to have to make. There's still going to be other taxes you're going to have to pay. It doesn't look as good as it seems. A $100,000 house. The biggest misconception is that you can go to a cheap estate and save all kinds of money. It's not true. You can go broke moving to Alabama just as fast or anywhere like that. In fact, how are the young people getting all this money is what I want to know. How do these young people get more money than somebody like me? That's what I want to know. How the fuck are they getting more money than me to do this kind of shit? People in their 20s? Yeah, it's crazy. Someone put out an ad for a house. Someone put out an ad for a house recently that they were looking for a roommate and they were 20 years old. How the hell is someone 20 years old renting out a room to anybody? Bitcoin is going to collapse. Bitcoin to collapse badly. Then these fucking people are going to start to see what's really going down. They're going to really start to see this get rich quick shit off Bitcoin. It's not legit. It's another thing that mostly fucking young white people are friggin' doing now. That's it. Bitcoin, they're gonna see that bubble collapse, and it's not gonna be pretty. I want to see it collapse, honestly. Then these people are gonna have to make real livings. They're gonna have to, you know, this artificial economy has to come to an end. It just isn't good for anybody. It's allowed people to be more fake and passive aggressive and in this work from home culture. Also, there's more of that now too. I don't think it's a good thing though. I really don't. I don't. Things should go back to how they were at least in the 80s. I think that would be a good start. Get back some of the music too that that just release new music similar to that older stuff, you know? Like, I just had a different vision of life back then, you know? Global socialism, possibly. I mean, do you think that's a bad thing? Every other country's doing it besides us. Something's wrong with us if we're not doing it. It's really what it's going to come down to. Like the truth, or you hate it. We're the only ones in the world living like this. We're the only ones in the world, practically. We don't care for enough of our own citizens. There's people who still want to fight wars out there. I can't get down with that at all. There's no reason why that life cannot become real that they try to sell you. It should and it could if everyone just did what they were supposed to do. It could. We were once closer to doing that at one time. And then things all went south. Everything had to go back to the 1920s again. We're living in crazy ass times right now. We're living in like the alternate 1985 practically. It's really almost on that level of the alternate 1985. As it is, I saw that in certain locations in America already. That they were already at the alternate 1985 in its most extreme case. Go to Tampa, Florida. You'll see it all out in the open over there. You'll see the alternate 1985 everywhere. Go to South Carolina. You'll see it down there too. Go to certain neighborhoods over there. You'll see it. It's like the alternate 1985. Columbia, 1985. Columbia, South Carolina. Alternate 1985. Abandoned buildings, half abandoned malls, where all the corporate stores left, and now they got the urban stores in there, with half of them abandoned. Churches and malls, liquor stores nearby, little convenience stores that are kind of ratty right around the corner from a mall, in a hotel with holes in the walls and in the in yeah, I saw that. And if you're not financially affected by it, you can live with all that stuff around you if you're doing okay. But God forbid you're poor. God forbid you're poor living in a town like that. Just God forbid. You got a little money in the bank. This generation gives no fucks. It's absolutely true. That has to stop. They have to go. If they can't get with the times, they have to die off, as far as I'm concerned, because they're ruining it. They're ruining it for all of us. And even people in Generation X who are older Generation X, okay, are still, they're part of it too. You know, one thing I learned is it's not just the boomers. This Generation X can be friggin' bastards too. A lot of them, and it kind of started here too as they got older. You know, they had the right world around them. They were even older than me in this world, and then they turned around and kind of turned on all of us actually. And they chose the side of racism and bigotry, really. Right, they did it by over consuming, but I would say if you were to say, like, if you had to compare like racist generations, okay, I would say Generation X exceeds the baby boomers when it comes to racism. Absolutely. But as far as over consuming, baby boomers have definitely, I'd say, done that the most. Yes. So it's really, it's a conversation that, yeah, you get people going depending on what you. Well, anything with 4chan in it, they're going to be a terrible generation right off the bat. So they're Generation Z, correct? Is that who you're? Is 4chan Generation Z? Right. What's your generation, Dixie babe? The boomers? Yeah, how did he at 28 now to do that? That's hard to do at 28. I mean, is he a doctor or something? I mean, or a cop maybe? I mean, there's certain professions people can do that, but even then, not a lot of people have that luxury now. Yeah, I'm not 4chan though. I'm before 4chan. But I'm not exactly Generation X, but I'm still before the 4chan era. I'm what they call, I'm what they call the Nintendo generation. A small generation, a microcosm generation of people who did not really, they weren't really as successful as some of the other generations. Some of us live with their parents. That's why some of these people at 40, 41 years old, they're with their parents. It's because they're with generation, the Nintendo generation. And even if Bergs is a little older, he's kind of in that Nintendo generation, I think, with the mind a little bit. You've raised many kids and you feel bad for them. Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't, personally, unless I lived somewhere good, or maybe I was in another country at this point. I mean, I wouldn't be having kids in the United States, honestly. I'd go to another country and do that. In the modern time, I just wouldn't do it in the United States with all the red tape and all the bullshit. I will not have a child in the United States. No. I would have to go to a foreign country. I'm contemplating a lot. I mean, you know how I said how I was planning possibly in the future, like if depending on what happens, I could be in prison for a long, long term stay, right? If I don't do that, I'm gonna go to a foreign country at the very least. I'm gonna do either one of them, and and stuff. I'm gonna do either one of those, and and yeah, it's just sickens me what the United States has become. It's becoming. Would I go to Argentina? Well, it's not first on my list. Why do you ask? Maybe, but it's not first on my list. Uh, it's not. One thing prison and a foreign country both have in common to me is as long as my parents or family is around, I'm not going to a foreign country and I'm not going to prison. But one day when I don't have them anymore, it's looking likely I'm going to do either one of those somehow. I don't know. Pity Pite, why are you saying that to me right now? I'm a disinformation agent, Giovanni Rain. That's a past channel I use. I don't use that channel anymore. So why are you bringing it up? Who the fuck are you, asshole? Why are you bringing that up? It doesn't apply to the modern day. And the things I talk about now are nothing like what I talked about before. I don't discuss things of the nature that I used to discuss them in the context that I discussed them. So answer me very soon, where did you hear that I'm a disinformation agent? Who would be telling you that in the modern day, number one? It's so outdated if anyone ever said that. This sounds like something that would have been said 10 years ago. Who the fuck are you? I mean, really. Stupid. You know what? Since you're wasting my time, I'm gonna kick your ass. You're out of here. Good. Bye. Bye bye, bitch. Bye bye. Yeah. Okay. But I guess if I think about it, the me now, sometimes pictures seeing the old me, what I was that person. And what would I think of that person now? I think of that a lot, actually. The trolls went too far. Yes, they have. They have. And they've gone so far that I don't want to live stream in front of those kind of people, especially during normal daylight hours. If I'm doing this in normal daylight hours, okay, especially in the daylight, where I could potentially get 60 views a live stream, okay, maybe more, assuming I get these trolls, okay? There has to be a couple of stipulations. I have to be getting paid like this is a job to a point. And I got to be in Los Angeles. I will agree to live stream under those conditions. But I'm not doing it otherwise. My price tag has gone up for this kind of a thing on here. I have to either A, live in Los Angeles, and B, get supplemented to live in Los Angeles. This is a job. It will be a job if I go to Los Angeles. This would become a job, and this is the only time I would ever do it to this level, day to day, regular hours, with trolls and supporters alike, but many trolls, maybe from some of these new communities that have come in and found me lately. I would have to literally be getting paid by someone. That's the whole point of finding a new community, that you get donors from that community, because you couldn't find them in the last community you were in. So you always look to improve no matter what. So if you're not getting the donors that come with the new community, what is the point? What's the point of doing this if you don't have the high rollers that make this an income for you? Then what is the point of doing this? Especially if I'm in the city of angels. And I talked to Aaron Collins a year ago, okay? What the fuck is this shit? Why are you saying this fucking shit to me for? Pork chop, you are done, okay? It's irrelevant. I contacted Aaron Collins a year ago, okay? Enough already. And I talked to Aaron Collins. I had a regular conversation with him. So I don't know who the hell you are. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, the Pete's community, the IP2 community. I better be getting donations from somebody in these new communities that I'm going to. I mean, that's why you leave an old community that might be fizzling out. The money's not there, and you happen to make it in another. If other people are starting to notice you, then Christ, I better start making an income then. With 70 views a stream and getting no donations, that'll be very tough. I'm not going to sign up for that. Even if I'm in Los Angeles, I'm not going to sign up for that. You know, definitely not. I'm not going to do that. Nope. Give me my rightful cut, and I will go. I will live stream for 5 days a week. If I get a cut that I like out of that, then I will. But besides that, I'm going there to be around the other styles. I'm not going there to be around the lowbrow YouTubers. So they're not going to pay me the kind of money I want, obviously. So it's a no-brainer to not accept that and just do my own thing. And and what I could think of is what would be so cool is if you were to get enough donors to make this an income, so the trolls who do watch that don't donate even a penny can get pissed off because you got all the palm trees around you. I would be rubbing it in the face of those people every fucking day, and that would be fun for me too. But I also want to be supplemented for that as well along the way. As if I have supporters and they have this kind of money to give or whatever, then they should give it. I mean, really, especially when you're in a new community and you've really paid your dues to get far on here, and then you're only getting $1 a live stream or something. That's not gonna fly. I could try it out there and see what happens, but I don't know. I don't know if it will change people's donating habits on YouTube. I don't know if being in LA alone will do that. I'm not assuming that just going there will solve that problem. On YouTube, I'm saying. Unless I reach the audience that I want, but not around all these trolls. They don't give no money. That's the problem with them. They don't give any money. Really, the really one person who was successful at getting trolls money was Elvis Travels. These other ones don't give money. Even if they leave a troll comment, they would drop a couple bucks at least with their hate comment. Elvis Travels. If I can do that more, I'll even accept that if I can do that. Even if someone makes a hate comment toward me, that's the whole point. Pay to troll. I actually believe in the pay me to troll me kind of method. That also works too. If you can do that. Someone leaves a hate donation, they'll give you $3, but they're leaving you a bad comment, but they're still giving you $3. It still counts. I mean, hey, I'd live stream more if I was gonna get those, but the titles of your channel need to attract such traffic that swamps the trolls to a small. Street life was one of those, correct? Because I managed to be getting new people to my channel, but I'm getting people that I potentially don't want. That's the thing. But they are coming from other communities, and I am showing up on algorithms, but they're just not the kind of people that I want to have around. I just have a feeling that if I'm going to get popular, it's going to be for the wrong reasons. And I don't want a part of that. So I'm going to go to LA at the very least, and I'm going to see what happens with that, see if the money starts rolling in when I go there. I'm going to see if that will affect my donations. If that will affect. It will affect the content for sure. People would love to see that every day. They would. There's people who would love to see that every day. What the hell is TTS? I'm not good with abbreviations. What is TTS, dude? Yeah, well, I did, and I showed him that someone new isn't going to come up off me when I have no idea who they are. Okay, I'll find out who they are, but that's what that proved. I don't do text to speech. That shit is new school to me. That's like, I don't like those robotic text to speech things that they use, but they do give donations though too. But I don't know if I'm even gonna use that, honestly. I mean, look, I'm not IP2, Dixie babe. Why are you pushing for me to be an IP2 for? Why? Why are you pushing for me to be an IP2? It's like you're trying to compare me to IP2 or something, or you're trying to reference them. When I'm going there to be around Hollywood, I'm not going there to be around IP2. Maybe I'll save Hollywood. You know. Hell, they make me an offer. IP2 sucks. Yeah, why is everyone wanting me to go there? I'm not gonna be part of that stupid shit. They like to see my reaction, I think. So they like to keep talking about it is what they fucking like to do. That word IP2 is gonna be banned in here pretty soon. I'm gonna end up banning that word because I'm sick of hearing it. I don't get their shit over there at all. Captain Content. What a fucking jackass. Fucking Captain Content. Who's that other freaking guy? Ross Dog or somebody like that. All a bunch of alt-right fagtards is really all they are. I don't like the alt-right. I don't want any links to the alt-right whatsoever. I'm not going to be put around bigots. I'm not going to live stream around people like him. No, him too. No. I'm a progressive. I'm not going to be put around them. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not. I'm going to be going there, and that's all there is to it. My life could go in two directions. I'm in the middle right now. It could go one way or the other. It could be Ultracom, Maine, or it could be Los Angeles. You know, it's really going to go one way or the other. It's either going to be solitude up in Maine one day, or it will be Los Angeles. Doesn't matter where you live, you're paying. Doesn't matter. If things seem a little cheaper, they're really not. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. Things seem a little cheaper, they really turn out to be more, and I could be facing that very soon again. I've already faced it enough already, even where I'm at. So I'm going to go for broke, and I'm going to go for Los Angeles. If this next deal does not go through, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've already had how many? I'm on address number 4 right now, including. Wait, hold on a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to count right now, 4, potentially 5 next week. In a place that's supposed to be stable, that's seen as somewhere to settle down. Christ, I would have stayed in Florida. God. Well, maybe I wouldn't have stayed in Florida, but you know what I mean. Would have at least went back home if I wanted to deal with that crap. Tell you that. You could buy an RV with donations. 5 addresses since getting to this area, though. Potentially 5. On 4 right now. In about how many months has that been? 3 months? I lost count. I friggin' lost count. Honestly. It's ridiculous out here. It really is ridiculous. Not to mention, it was almost like I paid $1,200 a month for that fucking place that was supposed to be $600 a month. Fucking asshole. For real. I'm not paying any cheaper, really. I might as well fucking go to LA. I'm not paying any cheaper anywhere I go. I'm just not. It pushed me to that point. I'm definitely going to Los Angeles then. And I'll just go balls to the wall with that as a last attempt, a final attempt to do something. What other choice do I have? My back is against the wall practically right now. I don't have that many more choices. I'm just glad this warm weather's coming in right now for the time I gotta deal with things. But I'm seeing everything. Jimmy, come on, will you stop with that? A trailer for my truck is not an answer. I'm going to time you out. If you say that one more time to me, I'm going to time you out. You understand? I'm not putting up with it. I've told you several times, and several people, getting an RV is not easy, okay? It is not easy. I don't know where you think this is easy at all. Ask fucking Tasha how it is, huh? Why don't you ask someone like that? See what they really think about it. They're always claiming they're homeless living in an RV. Christ. I mean, Christ, and they're still paying money to be homeless practically. You know, god damn it, dude. God damn it. Well, maybe you should stop dreaming about that and maybe get into reality. Huh? There's really not many ways out, you know. Of much. My God, if this next thing that I'm supposed to do does not work out, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. If this doesn't go through, all you can do is take people at their word. That's all you can do. And if they dishonor it, then all the bad karma is going to go to them. You know, they are going to be faced upon their own misery if they operate like that. Some people make a living lying. I can't do that. They present a life to someone that might not even be their life, but they present like it's their life. And then they sell that to people looking for places to rent. This is the kind of world we're in. It's disgusting. And it's gotta go. So maybe they're trying to say if you're gonna camp, it'll be cheaper than buying an RV. Because I'm getting to the point where I want to be dead if this is the future. I want to be dead if there's nothing going on. I want to be dead if this is the kind of person that is going to prevail in society. Yeah, it's more amazing than people think. I mean, plus some of it's on elevation too. I mean, the mistake I made last time, and it wasn't even fully my decision per se, but I went to Northern California. I don't think Northern California is where to go, dude. I really don't. It's Southern California all the way. San Francisco used to be the place people go. I would not put San Francisco on the radar, though. It's Los Angeles. That's it. They have the warm ocean. They have at least the warmer part of the Pacific Ocean for sure. And the nicest. Where you don't need a wetsuit all the time, at least. That wetsuit thing is bullshit. And I also noticed in parts of the West Coast when you go up north, when they got all the chains on your vehicles during the snow, that sucks too. That some people require chains. Some states require chains when you go into the northern western states. That's some of the most retarded shit I've ever heard. You gotta put chains on your tires and shit. You know how much work that is? God. The only place to be if you're going to be on the West Coast is Southern California. That's it. There's nowhere else. Fuck the rest of it. Fuck, what's that place? Humboldt County. Fuck that place. Fuck Oregon. Washington State maybe would have been the second best, but it's too cold up there. Only friggin' problem is it's too friggin' cold up there. You know? Their water is freezing as well. I'm the one going to LA, if anyone is. Not some of these other people pretending that they're going to go. Or they're raising donations, or they're claiming to go to LA, or whatever that bullshit they said in the past, or whatever. You know who I'm talking about. But yeah, they want to take all people. That was my idea. That was my thing. And that might be starting up again if things don't go as planned here. I gave that about a year. I thought I would have been able to live in a place like this for a year and save more money so I could be more comfortable. But it doesn't look like that's reality, because every time I try to make a living, someone fucks with that. Someone fucks with that all the time. You know? It's like there's jobs out there. There's no housing. That's my main fucking problem. Housing's expensive. Housing's terribly expensive when you look at the tricks people use. You know, if things seem cheaper. You know, you don't get a full 2 months. You don't. And then you got to pay to get out of there. And then you got to pay to go somewhere else. It's bullshit. Even if it's $500, it still all adds up. It adds up. And if it doesn't turn out as planned, you threw money away. That's the catch with sometimes some of these cheap places. You got to really fucking be careful. You know, because they can get very sophisticated. They can make it sound like you're getting a real deal when you're not. When you're not. I'm just so sick of these. No one hexed me. Stop. I'm timing you out for that. No one hexed me. Real life hexed me. No particular person did it, though. If that's what you're asking. Some people are going to take credit for it, sure. But you know what? No. There's only one person who has the raw power to do that to people. Me. Okay? No one's proved to me otherwise. I mean, because if Roger Brown's worked on me, they would have worked within 2 days. And nothing happened 2 days after he did that. So it usually starts working instantly. But life got me with this one. Okay? I was off of YouTube 4 fucking days. It didn't even happen on camera. I wasn't even communicating when it happened to me. So that's how I know for damn sure no one here was involved. Real life did it. I wasn't live when any of this happened. I was off here. But now I'm fucking back because I'm pissed off and I'm in an unfortunate situation right now. That's the only time I'm going to come back. You think I'm nuts enough to come here if I'm trying to live a normal life and work a job? You think I'm going to come on here? Hell no, I ain't. This is no place to come if you're working. Hell no. Because then the trolls will find your job and they'll call you a job. Yeah. That's what they'll do down here. That's what they'll do all over the troll webs. They'll friggin' do that. So I only have to run into unfortunate circumstances if I'm going to live stream out here. If I'm out trying to live, you notice I wasn't showing very much when I thought there was actually a chance. So that's the only thing that will get my YouTube addiction removed, really, is if nothing unfortunate happens and I can make it without some kind of bullshit going on. Or I'll just live in motels in Los Angeles that are less than here. They're less than here. Some of the motels there are less than it is here, for Christ's sakes. If you're going to live that life, they're less, even. Some places here, you're paying $1,400 a month for a motel, you know that? For the cheaper ones. There was one place, and if you put it near a mall that has more of its stores in it, some places here charge you $150 a night. Do you know that? There are some places here that charge you $150 a night. In fucking Omaha. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Christ. You don't come to states like this to pay a lot of money. You just don't do it. And I refuse to do it. If this is what the future's going to be like over here. Send me to the city of angels at least. Christ. God. If I got to deal with that crap. I long for it every day now. If that's going to be the case. I'm getting an education on things, no question about it. I'm getting an education on things, but sometimes the hard way. God. I'm very much a what you see is what you get kind of person. And I like to see things and know I'm getting those things. I don't like to be tricked. I never like to be tricked. It's just not in my DNA to deal with anything like that. And if anyone wants to make any content out of this, or they want to talk about me and laugh at my misfortune right now, it just shows you to be a real piece of shit. And it'll just show me who the real pieces of shit are, is what it'll fucking do. I didn't get a check. It's none of your business if I get a check or not, all right? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm very destitute and I gotta ask somebody. Maybe a family member. Maybe not. What is it? What's it to you? What my financial business is? Or if I'm getting a check, or if I'm not fucking getting a check or not. But if you think I picked this life, you're sadly mistaken if you think I picked this for myself. I don't make choices like this consciously. The conscious choices I make are the ones I think that I'm getting, are the realities that I really believe I'm getting. But I would never consciously choose anything that would torture myself, ever, under any circumstance. People drive me to this point. Societal establishment assholes drive me to this fucking point. Make me crazy. They make me want to do something drastic. Yes, they do make me want to do something drastic. Oh, I don't know if I'm getting one or not. I don't know. For that stuff. To cover gas costs, well, at least he's doing something. So, well, at least he's smart enough to save his legacy from going down as one of the worst. Maybe he's making an attempt to save that now. I don't know. Because something's got to give at some point. And with anything, something has to give. It's like, how can every person be bad? How can gas prices be high forever? If they stay high, how can they allow people to pay them without some kind of supplement? It looks like Biden's coming through on his word with that. So when you really come down to it, between the Democrats and Republicans, both of them are fucked, but I'll tell you something right now. From my experiences, the Republicans have more hypocrites. They have more hypocrites among them. You know, if you have to do it by averages, you know, they have more, I would say. Everybody checks bank accounts. Okay, well, I guess I'll be getting something then. But in case I lose some of my belongings, in case I can't get everything I own, I got to cover that too in some way. I'm in Christ. I'm in a position right now where my hands are tied. They're just totally tied with certain things, you know. This is the first real threat of arrest that I've had for a long ass time. I can't tell you the last time. I think over a minor traffic infraction was the only thing I ever got arrested for. A minor traffic infraction one time. But this was the most serious that I've ever been threatened about getting arrested if I come back near a property. I think, there was one other person too. But it was all, you know where this all happened though? New Hampshire. That's where the last mishap happened with something like that. New Hampshire. Yeah, live free or die, right? New Hampshire, yeah. Pretty much the reddest state in New England. Didn't do me any good living there though. For things like that. But now I'm adding it all up and I'm just going for broke. And if I'm paying these prices, I'm just going to move to a blue state. And I'm just going to say, fuck it, I'm done with all these red states. I mean a true blue state, not one that pretends, you know. It doesn't have to always be Massachusetts either. So, what choice do I got? LA. Maybe Maine. But as far as Massachusetts goes, I don't really see a future in Massachusetts for myself. I don't see myself doing that again. If I go back up in New England, it's going to be in Maine. Plus, my accent would actually blend better, actually, up in Bangor or something. I'd be hearing those accents again, right around me. That would kind of be cool, I think. If I could live in a smaller city, maybe where people talk like that, you know, instead of moving to Boston or something like that. What would make you pick a state to live in? Well, I would say, I would ordinarily say cost, but that's getting iffy. But the two states that I'm now looking at are not really that cheap. So that can only go in my favor because whenever I picked the cheap states, it never worked out for me. At some form, it never worked out for me. I lived in South Carolina. That became a nightmare too, in a way. I mean, I didn't get any threat of arrest. None of that happened to me. I didn't get in any kind of trouble like that per se. But they cut my disability check off when I lived in South Carolina. That was something bad that happened to me over there. Um, but South Carolina, they tout as a good low cost state or whatever. So I'm like, okay, what could it hurt? This was when the mandates were heavy and everything like that, and I wanted to be able to breathe a little bit more. So I went to South Carolina because I knew everyone was going to Florida. So I skipped Florida. I went to South Carolina. I thought maybe that would have been good, you know? Turns out that if you went to some parts, it was okay, maybe. But when I got that check cut off, it was even worse. I mean, but that's not a place you want to be poor, though. Let me tell you that right now. South Carolina is definitely not a place for sure. Exceptionally, you don't want to be poor really anywhere, but over in places like that, though, exceptionally, though, you don't want to be poor over there. I would say. You don't want to be poor in Alabama. I know that for a fact. You don't want to be poor in Mississippi. In Florida too, even Florida. No, even with the weather and all, no. Your channel looks like a troll channel, Heart Attack Mash. What do you mean what happened with what? Time out. I could smell you a mile away with that, alright? I know what you're gonna do. Let's just say. You believe if you checked your bank account and there was $500, well, you might have to check later, huh? But what sucks is that whatever stuff that I need to get, I'm only thinking about my stuff more than I'm thinking about $500 from Joe Biden right now. I'm thinking about my shit that I have to get. And it's in a place that I'm banned from going to. They had to arrange a time or something through a third party for me to get it. And I have to go probably to the curb or something to pick it up or something. So I'm trying to work that out right now. But wouldn't you feel like an asshole if you threw someone out of a place and all their stuff was there and you didn't want to lift it and it would just stay there? When you potentially even have someone else moving in, like a girlfriend or whoever, a daughter or whatever. To just, yeah, well, I'm not as worried about that right now, okay? I'm worried about my situation. I mean, gas, yeah, it might be a bonus, but I got other priorities right now at this moment. I got thrown out of my place at 9 o'clock this morning, practically, 9:30. 9 fucking 30. All right? The first thing I'm not thinking about is a $500 check for gas. I mean, yeah, I would. It would be cool if I got that, but I got other things on my mind right now. How about to end the stream? I'm done talking. Do you realize I fucking get tired doing this? Do you realize I fucking hate coming here? Do you realize? What do you mean I would only get 250? Then that's chump change. You said 500. Look, I'm leaving. I got no fucking time for this conversation. All right? Bye. I've had it. I need to end the stream. You people don't fucking understand that I need a break and I need to fucking end the live stream. You know, just fuck off or something right now. Christ. Yeah, well then I get nothing out of that then. Then you shouldn't have even brought it up. You know what? Look, I'm thinking about removing your mod right now. I'm removing your mod. How about that? Huh, Dixie babe? I'm sick of you. Really fucking sick of you. Figured I'd do that before I end this stream. All right, bye everyone.